Hey, what's going on, guys? Well, Brothers Collectibles here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. This has been one that I've been wanting to do for a while, actually. This is pretty much all the random DVDs. This is the random DVD shelf, just bits and bobs of everything on here. Like there's TV shows, there's movie soundtracks, just random films. Nothing's organized here, nothing's put in alphabetical order or genres. This is just literally bits and bobs of everything that's been left over that we'd have no room for on the main DVD shelves. So yeah, I just wanted to go through these titles and take a quick look and maybe discuss each one of them. So let's begin. So first off, we have Kong Skull Island. I really enjoyed this movie. I'm not a fan of the Godzilla films that followed this and the Godzilla versus King Kong. I wasn't a fan of that at all. But this is the first one in that series, Kong Skull Island. Samuel L. Jackson. It's set like in the Vietnam War. And I really enjoyed this movie. It's just a fun monster movie. And I really enjoyed the Peter Jackson King Kong as well. But this is probably actually one of my favorites. I do really enjoy this film a lot. It's does something different with the King Kong mythology. And yeah, it's Kong Skull Island. I bet this is amazing on 4K, but this is just the standard DVD. Next up is Jaws. Now, I've not upgraded to 4K, but I have seen it on the 4K, and it is absolutely stunning. It's probably one of the best. Jaws, Steven Spielberg classic. What can I say about that film that hasn't been said a million times? Jaws is just, it's amazing. It's one of the rare occasions, though, that the film is actually better than the book. I read the book last year, and I just really didn't care for it at all. I just really didn't enjoy it. I feel the film is far superior. So that was Jaws. Then we have Creature Comforts Merry Christmas, Everybody. That's just totally random. I don't even know why we have that on the shelf. I have no idea where that even came from. Hacksaw Ridge, Mel Gibson directs and Andrew Garfield. This is a true story about a soldier in World War II who goes into combat due to religious beliefs. He will not hold any firearms and he goes in completely as a field medic with no weapon to defend himself, and it's just an incredible true story. It's really heart-wrenching, it's really powerful, and it is a really great film. So if you've never seen this film, I do really highly recommend Hacksaw Ridge. It is amazing. Then we have the Walking with Dinosaurs, sort of like trilogy, if you will. The series, this is the original Walking with Dinosaurs show, narrated by Kenneth Branagh. Used to watch this all the time as a kid. It is great. It's just classic. It is brilliant. I didn't really care for the new Walking with Dinosaurs. This one will always be the best. Walking with Monsters. Walking with Beasts. A few Arnold Schwarzenegger titles now. This is Total Recall. I have seen it on 4K and it is really good, but this is just a standard DVD. This was part of the Schwarzenegger collection back on the day in DVD. Great movie. Probably one of my favorite Arnold films. Then we have Raw Deal. I've seen this a few times, but I really can't remember anything about it. Probably not one of his best, but yeah, I picked it up cheap anyway when I was just in a Arnold Schwarzenegger collecting mood. The Running Man, classic Arnold Schwarzenegger film. I really enjoyed this movie. I've not seen the remake, but I've heard kind of good things about it. So who knows, maybe one day I'll give it a watch. But I do really enjoy that film. And here is actually the DVD leaflet of True Lies. I will probably upgrade to the 4K of True Lies, even though it's kind of garnered negative reception. But again, this is what I was talking about before in one of my Tomb Raider videos. The old leaflets that used to come with DVDs. This is part of the True Lies DVD set. Going down onto the next shelf now, guys, we have Stand By Me. Then I was a big fan of the Power Rangers Megaforce series, so this is just a compilation of some Power Rangers episodes there. Highlander 3. I do actually own this twice. This was, I don't know why CAX do this. They reprint the covers to do their own kind of cover version. I'm really not sure why they do that. But I had to buy this a second time because my first version of Highlander 3 has begun to got laser rot, so I had to pick up this other copy as a backup. I do really enjoy Highlander 3, as you guys know in this channel. It's my favourite Highlander sequel. I'm really looking forward to the remake, but that is Highlander 3, great movie. Nowhere to Run, probably one of my favourite Jean-Claude Van Damme films. It shows more of a human side to him. It's not just wham bam Van Damme, the muscles from Brussels. It's not just him kicking ass in martial arts and non-stop action. There is actually like a really good story to it, and he's kind of more humanized and more down to earth. And it's, I don't know, you just see a different side to Van Damme that you don't really have, or see in any of his other films. Um, I really do enjoy this one. This is Kieran Culkin as well. He strikes up a relationship with Van Damme, and he's about protecting a family, and I just really enjoy the film. It has its lovers, it has its haters, of course, but it's probably one of my favorite Van Damme movies. Wallace and Gromit Cares for the Were-Rabbit. The Passion of the Christ. Again, this is a Mel Gibson film. I really love this film, and I'm looking forward to the sequel, The Resurrection. That's been his passion project, and it's been in development for a very, very long time. The critics and a lot of people don't like the violence of this film because it is seen to be quite excessive. It's super violent, but that's how I can imagine that it actually was in back in the day. That's how I imagine these events actually happened. So yes, it's hard to watch, and but it is incredibly powerful, and it is really good. So I try to watch it every year, every Easter weekend. I try and watch this film. Open Range. This was given to me by a family member, but I watched this a lot growing up. I love this film. It's probably one of my favorite westerns of all time. I watched it again just the other night. This is what we need a 4K on. We need a 4K of Open Range. They have to release it one day because it will look absolutely stunning. It's such a visually stunning, beautiful film that I think will look really amazing on 4K. Again, this is probably one of the few occasions that the book is not as good as the film. I prefer the film version. I read the book a few years ago, didn't really care for it. But Open Range is probably one of my favorite westerns. Robert Duvall and Kevin Costner. This is a really good one, guys. So if you're a fan of the Western genre and want to watch something different, I highly recommend you watch Open Range. The Band of Brothers TV show, just probably one of the best TV shows ever made, in my opinion. It is absolutely awesome. And then last but not least on this random DVD shelf is Miss Congeniality. Now, we just picked this up cheap quite recently because we had the desire to watch it. It's just a really fun movie. A lot of people love this film. Sandra Bullock is absolutely amazing in it. She's absolutely mesmerizing to watch. And so we enjoy it thoroughly. We watch it quite a few times a year, actually, because it's just highly entertaining. And it is just a feel-good, fun comedy that'll leave you with that heartwarming feeling at the end. Going to look now at the bottom of this random DVD shelf. Here we have some movie soundtracks. So first off this is the 2018 Halloween soundtrack. I'm a really big fan of the music in this film. It is really good. So I've not got a lot of soundtracks, and it's a kind of a small collection, but I do really enjoy this one of Halloween. It is by John Carpenter and Cody Carpenter and Daniel Davies. Really enjoyed the music in this film, and I enjoyed the film, of course, as well. Next, we have the James Cameron Avatar. This is the first one. Music conducted by James Horner. James Horner is probably one of my favorite composers of all time. He's sadly no longer with us. But he did Titanic as well, and he's done countless other movies over the years, and all his soundtracks are amazing. And I really love the music in this film. Next, we have is kind of a compilation of all the music of the Lion King, Lion King 1, 2, and 3. What can I say about the music in this film? It is absolutely amazing. Really big fan of the Lion King soundtrack. Probably one of my favorite Disney soundtracks of all time. And this is the one I tend to put on in the car, quite regular, to be honest. Of course, John Williams' Jurassic Park. Probably, again, this is probably one of my favorite soundtracks. I absolutely love it. This is one I listen to quite often. John Williams is probably my favorite movie composer of all time. I absolutely love his work. Back to the Future. Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, again by John Williams. This is one of my favourite Star Wars musical scores on it, Across the Stars. It's one of my favourite Star Wars songs of all time. I absolutely love it. And I really like the music in Attack of the Clones. And then last but not least, we have Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom by John Williams. This is probably one of my favourite Indiana Jones soundtracks. It probably is my favourite, although I am a fan of The Last Crusade as well. Just great music in this film. It's just super exciting and thrilling, and of course that classic John Williams Raiders March. I absolutely love it. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thanks very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed looking at my kind of random DVD collection. So if please, if you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. And I will see you very soon in more videos. Take care.